Ωραία, επιστρέψαμε λοιπόν και συνεχίζουμε με τις επόμενες εισηγήσεις. Η επόμενη εισήγηση αφορά την παρουσίαση από τον χρυσό χορηγό μας, Elsevier, με τίτλο Science Direct Books, High Impact Relevant Content. Η εισηγήτρια είναι η κυρία Nadia Judge, Solution Sales Manager, e-books. Nadia, we're ready for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all very much for attending this presentation. Thank you for taking the time despite the situation that we're in. And I'm very happy to have you to talk about the importance of relevant content and the high impact it can have. And that is through our ebooks content on Science Direct, which is a platform that I will not introduce to you. Most of you know about it. So without further ado, I'm just going to get through the first slide. Actually, before I do so, I will take a couple of minutes to introduce myself. So Nadia and I started a few months ago I joined Elsevier a few months ago, but I have been in the publishing industry for the past 12 years. So this is a very familiar industry and subject area to me. And so the agenda for the next 20 minutes will be the importance of ebooks, as I mentioned, but what is their role in the research ecosystem, as well as what is our publishing strategy at Elsevier, so why we publish books and how. I will also talk about the co-usage and its benefits, which is basically the benefits of having both journals and books on the same platform for researchers and what the benefits are. The value of the books. I will also mention the topic pages, which is a feature that is highly used and interesting for researchers as well as users of Science Direct. And I'll also share some data about the books in general within the Greek market. So let me start with the first slide, which is the role of ebooks. And so as you can see, this pyramid will show you the hierarchy that there is between the different resources needed to go through or to culminate to research. So at the very top of the pyramid, you see at the very top of the hierarchy, they are the journals. So the culmination of the primary research and culmination of research work that is very niche and that will be related to a very small number of people, so research community that can read the content of those journals. And if you look at what's underneath the journal section, we can see the books. And interestingly enough, as you go towards the bottom of the pyramid, you find the relevant information that is foundational introduction to disciplines and subject areas. So within the comprehensive, so within the foundational knowledge to the culmination of the research that goes into the journals, we have a multitude of books, of resources in the form of books, whether it's a book series, monograph, textbooks, or as I was mentioning, the foundational knowledge. And that really highlights the importance of the role that the ebooks have within the research ecosystem. And the following slides will show that in today's world, a researcher does not use journals only to further the research or to work on a research project, but oftentimes books are involved to get to the foundational knowledge, particularly when it comes to multidisciplinary research, and particularly when it comes to having researchers from different fields work together on a project where foundational knowledge needs to be had. So when we talk about the publishing strategy at Elsevier, we talk about 3 steps. And the first one will be to identify the right content. And the way we do that is through data. So we identify the right content by looking at the data through the different tools that we have available, and upon doing that, we are able to see the impacts, the content that is impactful, and the trends in terms of subjects and topics that are needed in the research environment. So once we identify the right content, we then identify the right authors. Unlike a few of our other of our fellow publishers, we don't we commission authors to write for us, and we do have this process of accepting and partnering with successful authors and educators to ensure that the content that we bring is not only relevant, but of high quality as well. And the third step will be to obviously deliver the right content from the data that we were able to gather, to understand what topics need to be written about, and then identifying the right authors to then distribute and to then deliver the content that is needed based on that. So as the slides, as it says at the bottom of the slides, the strategy is fairly simple, and it's to publish only what matters to the users. So moving on to the co-usage, which is what I was mentioning a little bit in the previous slide, in my first slide, is the importance of using books with journals together. And thankfully, for us, for Elsevier, it is possible because we host the content on the same platform. And that facilitates the researcher's journey, because oftentimes researchers don't really pay attention to where the content comes from, whether it's from a book or a journal. And what we've been able to discover through data is that both journals and books, especially when on the same platform, are used heavily together. And it does help, as you can see from the graphs here. It helps with getting original research from the foundational content that the books have, and so it really makes it it's not a usage of books or a usage of journals. It really is a combination of both, very heavily, that results in the research that gets published eventually. Now, just to highlight and to illustrate that a little bit more is, as you can see on the left-hand side, a way that the co-usage works. So on the green will be the journal's discipline, and the blue will be the book's discipline. And as you can see, it really is interdisciplinary, and there really is an important factor in using both at the same time. And a researcher could be using a journal, or could be needing information from the field of chemistry or computer science, and might end up with having to look at a book that has for topic medicine, dentistry, or perhaps chemical engineering or material sciences, for instance. So again, really highlighting the importance of having both books and journals together on the same platform to help the research workflow. And as you can see on the right-hand side, it's a bit of data to show you the average number of times per month that a ScienceDirect user co-use both journals as well as books at the same time. Again, I think this will cement and the first few slides in that the original research and foundational content really go together. So the co-usage is an important part and is an important way throughout the research workflow, and the foundational content will help researcher get up to speed so that they can publish the original research in the books. And I say that because most of the time we often see that in libraries there is this need to have books as a nice to have perhaps, but as we can see from the data that we have and from what we hear from scientists and students alike, there is this very important tool, that is to have both books and journals used at the same time to not only increase productivity, but also the outcomes. Next slide will also highlight the value of books, and it really does improve outcomes for researchers and scholars, but also access to ebooks and journals on the same platform increases both content types. As you can see from the graph on the right-hand side, which will show in orange the book usage, and in blue, sorry, the orange showing the book usage and the blue without the book usage. Now, another interesting topic was the ScienceDirect topic pages, which are basically a tool that allows scientists and researchers and students alike to have access to content through topic pages within the Elsevier platform, within the ScienceDirect platform, sorry. And not only it enables the users to get access to a short definition of terms that they might not know, and in a digestible format. And it also enables you librarians to better guide your patrons. The topic pages are basically a feature that was first launched in 2017, and it's a complement. It does complement ebooks and journal content. The ScienceDirect topics are created and driven by AI, artificial intelligence, and provide relevant definition, related terms, and foundational information in the form of, as we've seen before, short definitions within the pages. The interesting part is that it's the second most visited part on ScienceDirect, and 17% of all traffic on ScienceDirect comes from topic pages. There are about 330,000 topic pages on ScienceDirect, and they include about 20 subject areas, and both within journals as well as book chapters. And as of 2019, we were able to see about 19 million visits per month in 2019 alone. And for Greece, as you can see at the bottom of the page, there is nearly 1.4 million visits since 2018 to those topic pages. This is just to show you a little bit of data when it comes to authors and editors within Greece. And we do have, we're very happy to count above 5,000 authors and editors amongst our books, authors within Elsevier Books. And they span 25 disciplines ranging from chemical engineering, medicine and dentistry, or agricultural and biological sciences. And as you can see on the right-hand side at the bottom, this basically shows per region the number of authors that are affiliated, per country, that are affiliated or that participate in authoring books with Elsevier. This slide will show you a little bit more of the usage that is happening in Greece, but also will highlight, perhaps more importantly, the importance of ebooks within the research workflow, as mentioned before. Now, what was mentioned at the beginning of the presentation was the importance of having books and journals together. And what we're able to see throughout libraries is that there is, and rightly so, a priority given to journal content, and less so about books. And I think what this shows is that, and as I was able to show throughout the presentation, that both tools work hand in hand together and allow for better results when it comes to research. And what this slide shows is on the blue side, you'll have the usage in Greece, but you'll also have the turnaways, which are basically the demands that is created by users on our platforms, and this spans across all books. And I think what this shows is the tremendous need and importance of ebooks when it comes to the demand and the usage. And what we can see is that when we combine both, it really does reflect the demand that comes from students and researchers alike to have access to this trustworthy and high quality information to further the research. The data is taken from the top 10 institutions per scholarly output within Greece. And what we can see within only the top 10 institutions is increases year on year of either demand or usage of existing ebooks. And that further reinforces, I think, the importance of the role that ebooks play in the research workflow and in libraries, most importantly. I would like to end with this slide, which is showing a little bit the current situation and how ebooks have become even more important in these times, particularly as per the theme of this conference shows, to help librarians in difficult times. And we've seen obviously that going digital has become the norm, and as a result, we have been able to see that ebook usage has increased dramatically, and so has author book submissions increased, and that really does show that, again, highlights the importance of the role that ebooks do have. We also have made book chapters available in the Coronavirus Information Center that is complimentary, that is freely available to researchers. And Science Direct, Elsevier has made available on Science Direct textbooks throughout most of the first part of the lockdown earlier this year, to help the community and to help students to keep up with the studies, but also to help in the critical situation that we've all been facing. And again, this will really highlight and conclude on the importance of having books as part of your library, and to be able to afford your patrons the chance to access content that is available, that is valuable and of high quality. This will end the presentation. So I'm more than happy to take any questions if we have the time, or if there are any questions.
Thank you, Nadia. Unfortunately, we don't have time.
No problems.
For the questions. It was very interesting what we heard from you, your presentation. I suppose that we will be able to have your presentation.
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I'm sure that many of the participants they want to have this data that you had on your presentation.
Yes, I will send. I will make sure that it becomes available for sure.
Okay, and we also we have also informed our participants that we have on our website the Elsevier booth, so they can read any further information or any further content information. So thank you very much.
No, thank you, and I'll be available on the booth, on the digital booth at any time. So if there are any questions or if there needs to be more details, then I'd be more than happy to help and answer those.
Great, thank you very much for your
presentation,
your time. Bye-bye.
Bye.